poppin', y'all? Welcome back to DeAndre Wade channel. This is the Wade Network Podcast, episode 2. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Today, I have a plethora of guests with me. Like I said before, this is a new segment I got going on, and where I'm going to be discussing things that's going on today, things that's going on currently, but also some hot topics in the media, whether that be sports related, news related, maybe even a little political related. A whole bunch of things going down here. But I got around a bunch of brothers right here. We communicate pretty often. I like hearing their opinions on things. I think they got some smart, some very wise, keen things. And I wanted y'all to hear it too, because y'all deserve the best being on this channel. But without further introduction, y'all know who I am. Y'all seen me a million times. We're going to pass the mic and get everyone introduced so y'all can know who they are. So go ahead.
First and foremost, giving glory to God. My name is Andrew. Just happy to be here. Do this all the time. We got a group chat. Been doing this for all known each other. Known them two all my life. I've known the rest of them over a decade. Just excited to really just be doing this in front of the cameras.
Yo, yeah, this is Monty T. I'm here to, wreck this convo, this debate, whatever it is. Just have some fun, you know what I'm saying? For sure.
Damn, that's crazy. I gotta follow that. All right. Shit, man. I'm sorry, man. I was holding that.
It's cool. He gonna cut it.
Okay. You can cut it, right?
I'm not cutting that.
Damn, that's... All right. What's up, everybody? My name is Gary. As DeAndre kind of hinted at a little bit, we've all known each other for a long time. We've been in a group chat together now for a number of years. We always have some interesting conversations, deep conversations sometimes, to say the least. So it's good to get us all on camera and show the world what we be getting into when we having these conversations and discussions. I'm happy to be here. So yes, sir.
What's up? This is Coach Ron. Here with my brothers, about to get into some hot topics, and I'm excited for the get down.
Big Kaliko in the building. I tired of winning these debates. Win them all the time on text messages. Trying to win them in person now. So it is what it is. I'm ready.
We good, man. Y'all see everybody? It's the More Life chat. More life to everybody up in here, to people in here. RIP. But yeah, y'all. So today is gonna be a lot of things going down. There's a lot of things that's been happening recently, but I started with something earlier. We had to do a cut before this, just being transparent with y'all. We had to cut it, but I might add some of that in here just to be transparent with y'all, because that's just how we get down. But I'm gonna start with something different, just so y'all not prepared. I know y'all saw Justin Fields just get traded or picked up to the Jets. I think personally that it's just going to be kind of another quarterback carousel. I think Justin Fields is a big talent, but the question I guess you could say is it a good move or is it a bad move? I think it's a good move for the short-term future in order to give the fans hope. I live in New York, so I see how they are. They're crazy about the Jets. They're delusional about the Jets. They have no hope at the Jets, and I think this is to give them hope. The Jets always get quarterbacks to give them hope. They always get quarterbacks to make fans go to the games rather than actually legitimately win the Super Bowl / get far. And I just think the management is the problem, not really the quarterbacks in general. So what y'all think about that? Anybody have any opinions about?
Fields to the Jets. Looking at Fields last year, the main thing that I saw from Fields was that I didn't see from him from the year prior was his ability to hold on to the ball. So he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't make the big plays that I thought he would make, but he didn't turn the ball over, and that's the biggest thing. If he can go to the Jets and he can do that, he can not turn the ball over, and that defense can play at the level that they are able to play at, then I can see the Jets. I can see the Jets as playoff contenders.
Playoffs.
I said it last year. I'm not sure why they decided to make the switch to Russ last year. Not saying it was a bad switch, but the Steelers did, but but if they can go out there, if Fields can go out there and not turn the ball over, and even if there's a bunch of 3-and-outs and that defense can play the way that they're capable of playing, I can see the Jets being playoff contenders.
I mean, I don't think they'll be playoff contenders at all because I think the management's going to hold them back.
That management do be holding them back, but all you got to do is play defense and hold on to the ball. That's so much of the game. Like, even if they're not putting up crazy numbers, I don't see them going out and putting up 30 points a game. But if they can go out there and put up 17, 20, and the defense can play like we know they're capable of, Sauce have a good year, hey, you never know.
So you think the Jets will make the playoffs?
What is a playoff contender? Because everybody starts as a playoff contender.
8 to 10 wins.
8 to 10. That's a lot of wins.
8 to 10 wins. That's a playoff contender.
But you saying you got the Jets getting 8 to 10 wins?
I can see the Jets winning 8 to 10 wins if Justin Fields starts the season like he started last year.
Overall, I think it's. I mean, I'm not gonna call him a playoff contender, but I still think it's a good gamble. As far as when you're talking about a franchise quarterback, I think Justin Fields has shown flashes, and then also you get the camaraderie that he's gotten because he's going to the Jets, but he's getting multiple people that he played with Ohio State, and so to know some people like that and have them in the building with you kind of make going to New York that transition a little easier. I could see that being a good gamble, but yeah, as far as a good move, I would have to say yes. If that's a question, yeah, yes.
I think it's a gamble, but it's a good gamble too, like he said, because it's like Fields went 4-1, 5-1 last year as a starter for Pittsburgh, and not the same team that he's on now, but to his point,
Terrible team.
I wouldn't say terrible, just management, like I was just hinting at, because they got the pieces, they got foundations on the offensive line, they got good running back, they got good wide receiver.
Brees Hall might leave.
Is he a free agent?
They might trade him.
Might trade him. Okay, well, back to what I was saying though, I think it's a good gamble though, because if he has a great year, because I mean when he was last in Chicago as a full-time starter, he threw 3K and had 1,000 on the ground. Though the film looked kind of funky at times, but I think he could, if he does put it together, shoot, he could either be a franchise quarterback or it's a 2-year deal. Shit, he'll be out of there in a year or two. So I think it's a gamble to say the least. And shit, if it works out, it works out. But I think it's a gamble. But
so yes or no to this question.
Is it a good gamble?
Is it a good move?
I think it's a good move because the quarterback class in the draft after the top 2 picks, it ain't really much unless you want to take a gamble on a Quinn Ewers or
depends on who you ask. Because I mean, especially because we here now, go Tigers. But I think there are some good quarterbacks there. I like Quinn Ewers. I like Brady Cook. I like him over Shador. I like both of those guys.
You like Brady Cook over Shador Sanders?
I do. Brady Cook throws a ball that to receive. I mean, I've seen the film. He throws guys open. He throws them open. Now, when you talk about what Mizzou was playing with, as far as we got to stop talking and acting like Mizzou was supposed to be in the SEC. Like the fact that they was competing and doing as well as they was, it's like they didn't do it by accident. And he's been the quarterback. He's been there. Like
I love Brady Cook. I love Brady Cook. I said I stopped hating on him once he won a big game. He did that.
It's like everything that people questioned that he could do.
But he can't hit deep balls. And you had one of the best receiving cores in the country, and you could not put up that many points. Like, I'm not knocking dude. He can get short passes, intermediate passes. He's good, great runner, probably one of the best ones in the draft, but he can't hit the deep ball.
Jared Goff don't hit too many.
Jared Goff can hit a deep ball.
I mean, but I'm saying, but it's not his game, though. Like, it's some people's game. It's Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. That's what you're scared of from them. You're not scared of Jared Goff. I'm saying it's people that can work the middle of the field.
That they can throw the ball consistently. Jared Goff came in out of college being able to be a good thrower.
And Brady Cook can't. He hasn't
been that great of a thrower, and you know this. He hasn't. I love Brady Cook. I'm not a Brady Cook hater.
I'm not gonna say I know this because I am gonna say
I think he's gonna get drafted.
I've caught on to Brady Cook late, but I think Brady Cook is going to be better than Shador. That's just my take.
That's a big
Shador.
I put it in the chat.
You did put it in the chat. But we're talking about it here. I'm just saying that's a bold take. Like that's a bold take because I think
you're talking about when you go into the NFL, you need something else that can help you get Brady Cook as a more better athlete? Like, what can Shador do? That's when the play break down. What can he go to? That's gonna be like, all right, NFL, you're gonna be able to do this.
Shador has had the worst offensive line in college
It's always
football.
worse offensive line.
Has he not though?
But he does a lot of holding on to the ball. He does a lot of I'm trying to keep my completion percentage to this, so I'm a hold. And so then I couldn't block nobody for 6 seconds, and that's what he asking somebody to do. It's like that's a tall task.
Is it on film? Like what you just said, is that on film that he's holding the ball and his receivers that's open and he can
multiple times, multiple. Just go watch.
Now Nebraska, he played real bad versus Nebraska. Yeah, he played bad. I agree with that. He played
bad. Just a couple things to hit on. I'm not the biggest Brady Cook fan, so I'm not really gonna hit on that comparison. But as far as Shador, I'm not that high on him as a draft prospect just because he just doesn't wow me with anything. If anything that you evaluate him on is like completion percentage, and with today's day and age, and especially if you watch them play, I mean, you're talking about bubble screens, you're talking about regular screens, you're talking about RPOs, you're talking about jet sweeps, and it's like completion percentage, guys breaking completion percentage numbers and being the most this ever and the most accurate this ever, like a la Brock Purdy, like, man, those aren't really the guys that you're necessarily looking for. And as a former college O-lineman myself, I get so tired of people blaming the O-line once the offensive play goes bad, but once the offensive play good, we good. The Philadelphia Eagles won a Super Bowl, had the best O-line. Changed quarterbacks, wasn't looking that good. That same O-line with future Hall of Famers was now one of the worst O-lines in it. Same thing happened with the Cowboys, just not on that Super Bowl level. But it's all depending on how you playing. Same thing just happened with the Chiefs. You winning all these games. You got a cold O-line. You lose the Super Bowl. Now O-line traded, and that's the biggest thing that you need to address in the draft. So, like, I just hate the up and down roller coaster narrative about the O-line. It's always the O-line. It's always the O-line, because it damn sure ain't the O-line when Colorado looking good. Like, O-line ain't got nothing to do with Travis Hunter's Heisman.
Well, hold on.
Like, you don't get the O-lineman probably don't even get the shade.
Let me hold on. Let me slide in there.
The O-lineman probably don't even get the shade.
Hold on, let me slide in there because you right, but where a lot of them, like what you said, where they looking great. Go look at a lot of them throws. Shador getting tackled by 3 people, making a lot of these throws, throwing touchdowns and dots with 3 people on his back. I'm not saying y'all wrong with him holding the ball and stuff.
But a lot of them is him missing throws. And
I'm not saying y'all wrong on that.
I'm not saying, but at the end of the day, like, we not talking about a team that barely missed the college football playoffs. We talking about a team who has been absolutely poo cheese since Deion got there. Bro, the expectations was here. What we talking about?
They almost got there.
Almost. Year 2.
But you said almost.
Year 2, almost.
You just said.
They said year 1, big things was going to happen. So now year 2, I'm supposed to be happy with almost.
You just said they didn't even almost make it. And I'm saying they just almost. They almost
like
made it. They were one game away. They had to win their last game.
If they didn't lose to KU, they would have been in the college playoffs.
I said to the college football playoffs. And you saying they was almost at a chance to almost get there.
I just said
how is that almost?
They almost got Kansas,
there. They almost got to a chance to almost get there.
Yes, technically.
That ain't almost. That ain't almost.
Hey, it's closer than a lot of teams.
It is, but that's not what we were sold. That's 2 Chainz ain't on the sideline of every team.
Ain't you supposed to sell how though?
Snoop Dogg ain't on the sideline at every team.
He is right. You got to sell
the Heisman winner ain't on the sideline of every team, and I don't. For sure, I'm not mad at Deion the businessman, Deion the coach.
Is he bad though?
Not that good.
They won. Colorado winning 2 games.
So you don't think Deion Sanders is that good of a coach?
Yeah, now he
went too far with that one. Okay,
Yeah,
so
no. He
so
went too far with that
I
one.
will tell you this. So being around the just being around sports my whole life, I will say that there are different types of coaches. So it's hard to just pinpoint who's a good coach and who's a bad coach because a lot of times it depends on your roster. Sometimes you need X's and O's like Bill Belichick. Sometimes you need confidence, encouragement, and discipline like Mike Tomlin or maybe even Dion. I haven't seen or heard enough of his players talk about him in that light, but I have heard a few. So I believe that's the type of coach he is. My point is, at the end of the day, it's some who do the rah-rah and the X's and O's. Andy Reid, Pete Carroll. It's some who do the rah-rah and the X's and O's. So if I'm talking about on the level that we talk about Deion on, no, he ain't no coach like that. He might as well be the Queen of England. He ain't coaching nothing.
Oh no, he did take a zero.
How many DBs he sending out to the
team? There was a zero.
How many
win team
DBs
before
he sending
got
out
there,
to the
though.
draft?
They didn't.
How many DBs he sending out? That's what he do.
He just got there.
Bro, he
got
been there
for
2 years.
But-
He
and
got
they had
the best one, and don't nobody call him the best DB in his draft. Yet he came into the college the
but
number
that's,
one
That's the
D-back.
media though.
But I'm
That's part of
saying
the
the media
media.
gave him the Heisman. Why the media? Because the media can't be fooled.
But
you
but
can't tell Mel
see that
Kiper,
every-
hey, this the best
You see that
DB
every
in the
year
draft.
though. You see that
He
every
has
year.
to make a report.
Somebody draft stock gets high as soon as the combine start. Like you know what I'm saying? It's always somebody.
I'm not saying
Like, all
I'm not
year-
saying Travis
all
Hunter not
year, we
cold.
don't hear
I think
about-
he cold.
All year we don't hear about one single player like having an outstanding year, but then the combine come and like, oh, he's projected to go top 5. Like,
Why ain't
how?
Shiloh good?
Because of them combine numbers.
I got some questions when y'all talk about Deion being a good coach, man. So, to touch on what Ron said, I think being a good coach in college and being a good coach in the NFL is a different thing. I want to know if y'all feel like that game translates, because when I look at Deion, I look at someone like and I hate to say this in a negative light, but like a used car salesman. He gonna shine it up. He gonna say, "Hey, this is pretty. Come here," But when you're in the NFL and the head coach is not saying they don't have some influence, but when they have less influence on who they're going to have on their roster, and you really have to go out there with your roster and make it work, can Deion do that? Now, you don't get the chance to do that in college because he can say, "Hey, come to Colorado. We got nuggets and we got," you know what I'm saying? So you don't really get the chance to do that in college. But when you're in the NFL and you're on the rosters, because I know there was some talk about the Raiders, and you say, "Here, go make Devon Diablo be great. He fast, whatever." You don't get to really touch your roster as much. Like you can say, "Hey, I want this guy," et cetera. But can you go make a roster that is, because you're not going to get a good roster?
I don't think that's fair though.
How's that not
that's
fair?
fair to say because Nick Saban couldn't do it.
Okay,
Nick Saban couldn't do it. He's an all-time great.
So do you
coach.
know the Nick Saban story? Do you know why Nick Saban couldn't do it? You know what happened with Drew Brees?
Wow.
You know you're supposed to get Drew Brees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when that didn't work out, he couldn't do it. But
we can't predict on what if. I mean,
but we can say that Nick Coben, that's a stain on him. We can say,
I don't think it's necessarily that cut and dry as far as making it or being successful in the NFL, because not until recently did everybody really get that GM role or get that say so in the draft picks coming in, the trades coming in, head coaching, and I mean, I just don't think it's that cut and dry. But
head coaching in the NFL, you got to have a great quarterback, anyways. Like without a doubt, you got to have a great quarterback to even be even great.
Great, yeah.
Good.
But
Mike
Mike Tomlin didn't really prove anything. I mean, I respect Tomlin once again. Like he does a lot of he's great for the confidence, but it gets to a level where confidence ain't enough. Like what can you help my players achieve in the sense of expanding their potential, not just hitting the ceiling of that potential.
But don't you think in a way though he he does that. Though, because it's like preseason, people were saying they're not making the playoffs. They're not making the playoffs. Me, okay. It's different. I'm talking about the mass media.
Who they talking about?
The Steelers. The Steelers not making the playoffs.
They
say it every year. Every single year. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. And then he takes this team that nobody thinks can and overachieves to a point to where it's hard to.
And every year he's going 9-8 or something. No.
But it's not even 9-8. Because what they go last year?
They went 10-7.
It's a playoff team. I'm talking about it's not even about the 10-7. It's the fact that even at 10-7, people said they wasn't making the playoffs. They was finishing third in the division, and it's like,
I'm gonna give Tomlin because what Ron just said, he puts them to that position. It's like, all right, he's the best motivator probably in football.
I don't think any other coach.
He can instill confidence.
Exactly.
I don't think any other coach can do what Tomlin did.
With that team, hell no.
Can do what he do. Period. It's a reason.
Hell
Andy
no.
Reid is a
All right.
He was doing the same. He was doing similar things as Mike Tomlin before he went to before he came to Kansas City. But he was missing playoffs.
Whoa.
Mike ain't doing that. I'm not saying.
Oh yeah. No, bro, I had to drink him, bro. I had to drink him, bro.
It was the best example I have of somebody that's had a long tenure, except for Bill Belichick, who also had a long tenure. But it's like with one team who's had long tenure and said, "No, we not." It's one thing. We not gonna not make the playoffs.
So one thing. The Eagles' success is way different than anything that, bro. They're barely skimming in the playoffs. The Eagles were, what was that? Andy got been to 6 NFC championships and won multiple of them.
He only won.
Only won one. Only won one. But all right, but went to 5. But y'all know.
4 or 5.
But I'm saying went to 4 or 5 NFC championship games. That is much different than barely skimming in the playoffs. For one, for two,
It is.
For two. You say couldn't nobody do what Tomlin did, but what if somebody could have got another ring?
But you think that
because his first ring was off of, like we said, bro, that was coward team.
It was.
Would you rather have his later years? Would you rather have his later years of all this mediocrity, or like a Doug Peterson? 3 years with the Eagles in the chip. Bruce Arians a few years with the Bucks in the chip. So 9 years of being just barely good enough to get smacked in the playoffs.
Okay.
Or would you want one ring? So
you're talking about from a fan perspective, and it's like, okay, I'm
not.
Well, you talking about this? Would you rather have 3 years of Doug Peterson? My point is, Tomlin can do that. Tomlin just ain't got to, because Pittsburgh is like, why would I fire him? Why would I fire him so he can go somewhere else and do that? That's what I'm thinking about Pittsburgh.
Tomlin gonna get you 9 to 10 wins. That's it. First round playoffs.
Tomlin gonna get you 9 to 10
get
wins with the roster
divisional.
that ain't supposed to be in the playoffs. Don't forget that part. Yeah, it don't matter who you got. Yeah.
And so I think that's my point. And so that's my point. Y'all saying I would rather have a coach who can make
something out of nothing.
I'm saying, well, when you got Steph and Clay, let's get a ring.
But who's this Steph and Clay? Where's Steph and Clay?
Give Mike Tomlin too many passes. They could do better. They could do better as far as
what offense has he implemented?
Exactly.
He's the one who was happy about.
Because their defense is cold.
Najee Harris ain't look like a good NFL running back.
He took Russ. He put Russ in.
I'm tired of the Najee Harris slander.
He's nice. He has
4 yards per carry. 4 yards per carry every year. 4 yards per carry every year. He doing what he's supposed to do. He doing what he's supposed to do. He getting 4 yards. But everybody can't be Derrick Henry though. He's a good workhorse back. Yeah, I'm tired of people talking about Najee like he's not supposed to be in the league. He a good workhorse back.
Well, we'll end it on that. But I guess to answer the first question, which everyone forgot, was we could just go through it quick. Was it Justin Fields good for the Jets?
Oh hell no. No, it was good back. Good back. It wasn't no good trade because I just feel like it's bad for Justin Fields.
Why?
Because it's gonna make him look worse. I feel like he's gonna be in another. I think he's gonna be in another position like Geno Smith.
So you said it was bad for Justin?
It's bad for Justin Fields.
Is it good for the Jets or bad for the Jets?
The Jets are just horrible. They bad.
So was it good or bad for them?
That's his answer.
I mean, they just bad. They suck. It ain't really. I really can't. Like I can't really like. It's hard to say like good or bad for the Jets because I mean, what they haven't had a quarterback to take them to the playoffs.
Going to the Kings.
Exactly. Like I guess I know.
So they not
They haven't had a win. They haven't had a quarterback take them to the playoffs since Mark Sanchez. Barack Obama was the president during the time. So I mean, they suck. I don't see them going to the playoffs. I don't see them going to the playoffs in the next. I feel like they gonna end up. Aaron Glenn gonna end up getting fired because why? He's a black head coach at that.
It's spicy.
And so that shit ain't gonna last long.
Black coaches is a good topic.
He ain't. I mean,
real quick, I just want to say I do agree. I never even thought of it like that. If Justin Fields don't play well here, which don't nobody expect the Jets to really, really play well, like a good trade for the Jets may be. But do we expect the Jets to do good? Probably not. Yeah. So if he messes up, if he don't look good here, it really is a huge detriment to him because that's probably his last stop as a starter.
Hell yeah.
Like it's his last stop. So I never even thought of it like that.
I think he hella talented. He a talented quarterback.
Yeah, that's fact.
Better than Zach Wilson.
And I think the Jets is in a position because the next QB pool, you looking at the Arch Mannings and stuff like that. So I don't think the Jets is.
So what do we think? The Jets should have tanked. They should have tanked for one of the two quarterbacks, which they had a chance to, but they did not do it. And so I think this season, all they have to do is one of the two quarterbacks in this year's NFL draft.
But Shador might drop.
Shador or Cam Ward.
Shador might drop to 20.
Not the one that quit on his team. Not.
It's better than what they have now, though.
Hey, I'm not a. Is Cam Ward on your tabloid? Because I want to talk about Cam Ward.
Give me Gardner Minshew.
He didn't quit on his team because you can't say that because who's the first round quarterbacks that got drafted this year? Do you remember the quarterbacks that drafted this year first round?
No. He literally was.
Did Jaden Daniels play in the play in this bowl game?
No. It's not about that. He was literally in the game.
Oh, you talking about that game? I know you're talking about.
He was in the game to get stats, and then it said, "Hey, I hope y'all get this, but I'm good."
I forgot about that game.
That is literally the definition of quitting. Bro, LeBron did that like they was set fire to the world.
I thought you meant not playing the bowl game. That's what I mean
literally. Oh, let me get my 102 TDs.
Yeah. That was crazy. Well, but recently they announced that college football is a lot of coaches and programs are getting rid of the spring game. Like I was at the Mizzou spring game this weekend. Well, spring game, they got rid of it. They said to me, I'm like, why is it not going? Because they're doing reconstruction, but that's not the real reason because Texas is gone. Nebraska's gone, and that's the only thing going on in Nebraska is the spring game. The spring game sells that every year, but all these coaches are getting rid of it. I think it's a bad move just because football, you only have a select few days for the fans, only for them, and the spring game is literally for the fans. You do that just to give them something in the springtime. They have nothing else except, basketball games, baseball, but football is the stuff that runs most schools and brings in the most revenue. And if you get rid of that for the fans, and on the coaches' point of view, just to, they don't want their players getting hurt, which I think is stupid because it's football at the end of the day, and it's spring. You get hurt anytime. I think that's the best time to get hurt because then you get ready for spring or fall. But they don't want their players getting hurt. They're implementing all these transfers in, so they want more time to get them involved. So do you guys think it's a good idea or a bad thing? Good thing or bad thing to get rid of the spring football games?
I think it's. I personally think it's a bad idea. The spring season is so iconic in college football. Spring games are part of tradition for most college programs, and just kind of like the separation of the spring game is what really kind of separated and made that spring session, that spring season, an actual season.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people just think about the off season and the NFL. You know, you got your trades, you got your draft, you got all this stuff, but in college, I mean, you got your same guys, and those guys gotta become a different team almost, and that's what that spring session is really all about, from the weight room to the football field. And that was supposed to be like the final test. You got guys going after each other's spots. You got guys trying to represent. So I mean, yeah, no, that's it. I feel like that's a huge detriment to the college football as a whole, because there was just so much behind those spring games.
So I kind of wonder about the players. So when you look at the spring game, like you look at that time, and I remember, you know, being in college, being in high school, that's something that the players used to really look forward to. I don't know if it's still the same way. I've been out of school for 10 years, but I remember that's something, you know, you're grinding all winter, you in the weight room, you on the track as soon as it gets warmed up, you're doing all this conditioning and you're doing all this working out. And the end goal is to put a helmet and put some cleats on. So, you know, that spring game was usually a little taste of that. You finally get to unleash and you finally get to, you know, make contact. And if you're taking that away, then, you know, you don't have that, you're not dangling that carrot anymore to keep guys, you know, hungry until the fall. So I, you know, the player in me was like, man, that, you know, that would suck, but I can't imagine, you know, I hope they got real good reasoning.
Obviously, from a fan perspective, it definitely sucks to not see those few games that you would catch on ESPN and things of that nature. Some people would even go travel to those games. But I'm not also going to be ignorant enough to think that they're not going to still have a spring game. They're not going to have one to the public, but they're still going to have some form of practice. At some point in practice, it's going to be like where they put on a competition and still do that. Yeah. But so for the fans not to get to see it, it definitely sucks. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're not going. I know they still going to have that still aspect, that's still competition. But it was nice those times to be able to put in front of the fans and stuff like that. So I do get missing it.
Yeah, I think also like there's a lot of, like we talked about this a little earlier. There's pressure added when there's fans in there. It's way different. You're practicing in front of just the coaches and your teammates rather than fans come in the building, people yelling and cheering. That adds a little adrenaline rush that you can't explain or replicate. You know, the coaches can add artificial sound with the speakers. They can add artificial crowd noise, but that's not the same as actual people. Now you turn around, you see people that you know, it's going to make you feel some type of way. And a lot of players can crumble because of that, because they got that added pressure, or they might rise to the occasion. Some players need that to kind of get them going. I know our spring game, Marcus Golden, Shane Ray, they amped up more so because, specifically speaking them, because of the fans at the spring game, because we all knew spring game is just whatever they're going to play. We're going to play 2 quarters, then we're done. But in order to be in front of fans, because that's kind of who is, you know, providing ultimately what it comes down to, if there's no fans, there's no game, then I think that's what it is. But I mean, they're changing it for a reason. We'll see if it's actually worth it. So lately, y'all seen some of these, I guess, current athletes have podcasts, like Draymond has one. Travis Kelce has one. Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing for current players to have podcasts while they're playing? I think it's a good thing, just because we don't ever get that perspective. I think it's cool. As long as the team's cool with it, it only work for players like Travis Kelce and Draymond that have been with the same team for the longest amount of time. I like hearing it. I see, but sometimes I'm like, I hear Draymond and I don't mind Draymond sometimes. I don't mind him most of the time. He's himself. But if I was a coach and you talking about the games and our game plan and all these things, I'm like, as a coach point of view, I probably wouldn't like it, but I think as a fan point aside, I do like it. So what do y'all think about that? Anybody?
I think it's one of those double-edged swords. So like you come like Cam Newton, I remember that being a big deal, how he was showing up to the press conferences with his top hats and all that other shit. And it was one of those things like when they're winning, nobody cared, but when you're losing, it's a distraction. So for me personally, if I'm thinking as an owner or a coach, I wouldn't want it because it's like it might not really be a distraction, but to the outside world, when you're looking at it, when they start losing, when the Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl, now the question is Travis Kelce too focused on Taylor Swift? Is he too focused on his podcast? Stuff that we don't talk about when we winning, but comes an issue when you're losing. So I would say no from a coaching standpoint, just because, you got that double-edged sword of it's okay when you win. It's okay when you're winning. It's a problem when you're losing.
I personally am not a fan of players on podcasts mid-season. I think contractually, if they are supposedly obligated to a team and being locked in on the team, they don't need to be discussing, game plans and stuff if they are on podcasts. But it is a double-edged sword, like he just said, because, if you win, they probably won't be saying nothing about it, like when Draymond and them won that chip that year. But I just think at the end of the day, players don't need to be discussing, behind-the-scenes stuff, locker room stuff, or they don't need to be locked in on podcasts mid-season. That's what I'll say, just personally, because I'll just leave it at that, honestly.
It really is, and I hate to say the same thing that y'all saying, but it really is a yin and yang situation for me as well. So I'll give you my fan perspective. I can't imagine being able to hear Kobe debrief a game at the end of every night. It actually did happen one time, and it's a documentary called Kobe Doing Work, and I probably done watched it 20 times, and it's just him breaking down a game the day after, I believe, that he actually played. So from that point, as a fan, man, yeah, I would love it. But from a coach and player standpoint, man, get all that social media out the locker room. Get all that social media influence out the locker room. It takes away from your team. It takes away from what y'all building. It puts too many other eyes and ears in y'all locker room. So from a competitive standpoint, from a coach or player standpoint, no podcast during the season. 0 dark 30.
I just got a question for y'all though, but so is it not okay for players to have other interests?
No, I think it's good, and they should be encouraged as they are, especially with college players getting deals now. They should do brands outside, but as long as, like he said, it doesn't interrupt with the season. As what both of y'all said, it doesn't interrupt with the season. So if I was in the NFL and we're in season, I got to put the other stuff to the side.
You got 3 hours in the afternoon where you free, and you
can play some video games. That's fine.
I'm just saying, but you got 3 hours in the afternoon where you free. He got to play video games instead of getting a podcast with his brother. I'm just saying it figuratively. that is
so in my opinion, I think we're thinking in hypothetically utopian scenario as far as an athlete having a podcast. But the fact of the matter is, they are what they are, and you want them so bad for what they are. It's true authenticity and complete, transparency from an athlete. That's probably your favorite athlete or an athlete that you look up to, that you admire, whatever it may be. So, you want that, but there's no way that can't take away from them doing their job. It is, and we've talked about that.
Take away though.
We have not. We've talked about that before. How much podcasting and streaming takes away from these people in their lives. That's going to happen to these athletes. And most importantly, like Gary just said, we've got to stop acting like these men and women don't have contracts. I
was just going to say, that's a lot of things cops can't do.
Because
they cops.
So for me, like with what you said, you said, can he not go do this podcast with whoever? Well, I believe it is taking away from you and what you are doing as a professional athlete in the same realm. So if that yin and yang, if you can understand that does take away from you, then you can understand that the fact that you are on a contract. That doesn't mean that Zion can't have a cheeseburger, but once that gets too many cheeseburgers for you to fulfill your contract, then it's my problem.
Yeah,
it's not true. Having a cheeseburger. It's that podcast becoming overweight. And everybody's podcast has become overweight.
Pretty much.
Patrick Beverly, Paul George, Travis Kelce. There's not a player.
Yeah,
but he locked in on Goose Eggs. He locked in on Goose Eggs.
He locked in because he was playing terrible.
So show me the podcast that doesn't get overweight, and I'll show you the podcast that we can allow. But as far as contracts go, if this is taking you away, it's not about you in your free time. It's when that free time hits my contract.
Just like how
it
was with Colin Murray
and just
video
like
games.
These two hit on earlier, bro, it's the money. You don't want to get paid that money. Go have your cheeseburgers, your podcast, all of it.
They're gonna start putting that in contracts.
Yeah,
It
no
puts me in the
podcast.
mind of it really puts me in the mind of like a couple years ago, or just a couple years ago. I'm getting old. Back when like Mahomes and Tyreek Hill really started, getting big, and they were hooping, and the Chiefs came back and was like, no, you know what I'm saying? Y'all not gonna do that. Y'all under contract. So it's not the same thing. They're not gonna cause physical damage to themselves, physical harm to themselves by doing a podcast. But you're still doing a detriment to your team because you're pulling away. You know, you haven't had too many cheeseburgers. So I that's where I'm at with it. You know, it's kind of the same thing.
I don't know. I just feel like I kind of feel like sometimes it takes them too far away from their profession. Like as far as like what they're doing, whether it's football, basketball, whatever the case may be. I just feel like it takes them away from that. I feel like they play don't always add up. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't always. How am I trying to say it? Fuck. I can't really get it out, but I just don't. I don't know. I've seen like even with Travis Kelce, like damn dude, like he's been balling out. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, he's getting even bigger with the podcast and all the type of stuff. And it seemed like his play is dimension. And that part of that could be because he also getting old. But I don't know. I don't really feel it like that, to be honest with you. I'm not really into the players and podcasts.
If I could just hit back on the fact that at the end of the day, these men and women have contracts. How many jobs, how many of your jobs would be okay with you picking up a whole nother job?
I mean,
how many of y'all jobs? How many of y'all jobs would not? And then even if
when I get a new job, I don't tell my current job I got
exactly because they gonna be wanting to know. I got a couple and things that be lined up, and they don't. And I understand they be beefing.
Okay, and so,
and these are small jobs. Now imagine you paying somebody 9 figures. You gonna want to know, hey, what time you get in last night?
So
how much sleep you getting?
We already know that.
But okay, and
for sure. But that's what I'm saying. Like they gonna want to have a say in an extracurricular that's being so extra. So like it's a contract for a reason.
A contract. So when you get this contract, what are we talking about? So they getting this contract and they getting paid by what? By the day, by the hour. So I'm paying you this contract. So now I'm in control of X, Y at a time. I'm in control of you from August to then, and then you can do whatever. Like I have to.
Okay, so that's not really what I was getting at.
But you are though.
So no. My whole thing is
you say
no. My whole thing is just like any other business entity, I'm paying you a contract for you to not only fulfill your contractual obligations, but in the idea that you might be like exceeding
You have to uphold a standard.
but to go under, which how many of these, because that's that other part.
How many?
We are talking about a contract.
Okay. We're talking about
how many people get talked about, bro? Well, would we be talking about contracts right now if Paul George was averaging a triple-double? If Paul George was looking any bit of the money that he got, would we be talking about it? So that's my thing.
I don't think we would be, but there are also people who are not doing podcasts whose players declining. And so it's not because they just doing the podcast. We're not gonna just say this is the only reason you're doing it. And to your point of the contracts, I'm just saying though, you saying something. I'm paying you to do the XYZ job. I'm paying you to be accountable, to show up at practice, to do these games, and for you to be in control.
I completely understand that. I completely understand that, but I can't. It's not like I'm saying I'm right about everything. It's not like I'm saying, but I can say, damn it, another quarter pounder ain't gonna help you, Zion.
Okay, I feel
it might not be the burger.
Okay.
It was a missed dunk. Zion probably ain't missed a dunk since he was 7.
Okay. Even if it's not double cheeseburgers or whatever it is. Okay, you don't want me to have cheeseburgers, but maybe I want a chicken sandwich. So now I can't have chicken sandwiches. I can't be on a podcast. So if I can't be on a podcast, I can't stream. But he can stream and I can't be on a podcast. It's like, that's what that nigga like to do. I want to do something different. So you telling somebody that they can't do what?
Yes, but Arizona did it with Colin Murray. Arizona did it with Colin Murray. The dude was playing Call of Duty.
A professional athlete's body is a machine, and they are. Yeah, in control. They control that machine.
All this player movement and all this when people get traded overnight and don't get done dirty, keep this same energy because they gave them a contract to do whatever. You can't have it to where it's like, player moving, they get to do whatever. Why the team do them so dirty and then be like, well, they got a contract. It's the same thing.
Not even about the.
It's the same thing though.
About somebody being traded. Pookie was from it.
Okay.
We don't care. We not saying that. We don't.
I'm not saying that you're saying that, but
it
the mass media is gonna say that. Most people are saying it's not fair to do this, and you can't say it's not fair.
The main thing I don't like about the podcasting is we didn't get like what he just mentioned with Kobe, for instance. In that era, we didn't get a lot of those in-depth stories after each night, after each practice, after each training camp. We didn't get all of that, and that's where it rose the suspense at. Now we missing that because now it's like, all right, Draymond, why we didn't get what happened in practice today? Like, to me, that's what I used to like. We used to, all right, dang, man, Draymond and such is clicking now. It's like now we probably, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's so open now. Like the world is just so open now, and that's what I don't really like in ways because it's like
I think the most of the players that have a successful podcast have been with the team for a long time. Minus Paul. Well, I don't know how good Paul George's podcast. I never listened to it, but
he got one of the biggest ones.
He does. Okay. Well, the most of the players that currently play, Kelsey, Draymond. Those are the main two I guess I'm referring to. The others are kind of retired players for the most part.
I think T got the best one.
But he's retired though, so like he's fine. Like retired players can do what they want; they can make their money. But we'll segue from that to I guess the NBA season's about to wrap up, and you got controversy between the MVP race. It's pretty simple. It's gonna be Jokic or it's gonna be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm a little biased. Clearly, I'm a Nuggets fan, so I think it's gonna be Jokic. I think it's. My biases might be taking over a little bit. I'm trying not to be, but I think it's, regardless of record, Jokic is averaging a triple-double. There's never been an MVP to average a triple-double that hasn't won MVP, or a player that has averaged a triple-double that has not won an MVP.
James Harden.
He won an MVP.
Did he?
Yes.
I don't know if he was averaging.
I don't think he averaged a triple-double. I think Russell Westbrook was the first one to average the triple-double throughout the whole season. And then he had a bunch of triple doubles, but I don't think he averaged it. And Jokic is averaging one this year, and he's probably going to finish out averaging one. I I don't see how you can give one to a player that averages that it's very hard to get. It's not just about scoring points. If it was just about scoring points to get the MVP, then the scoring leader every year would be the MVP, but that's not the case. And it's all much everything. So I want to know who do y'all think is supposed to be? Who do y'all think should be MVP? Now the season still got 20 games left, but not a ton is probably going to change in between now and then.
We talked about this a little bit, but that's a hard discussion because it really could be.
Who do you think it is going to be?
You can really give it to both of them.
But who would you give it to? Who should have it?
If you had a vote, that should be the question.
Yeah, if you had a vote, who would you vote for today?
Shay.
It's not a one part question for me because if you take away both of them off of each team, I think the Nuggets are going to be much worse than what the Thunder would be because the Thunder are much deeper and they got a little bit more talent, I think, around.
Jokic has never had an all-star teammate.
But they're younger, though. You know what I mean?
Who?
And the Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why with their record, they're 12 games ahead in the West, but nobody has them as the favorite to win the championship.
Facts.
And that's because of their age. So it's really hard to say.
So it sounds like you're saying it's hard, but you'll say Jokic.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, in a way, yeah, but you got to admire what Shay's doing because them boys is all young and shit, they winning games. And it's tough to win games at the end of the day, and especially consistently. Like the Cavs, they on their second 15-game win streak or something like that throughout the year. So it's really tough, man. I can't even answer it right now.
2 for Jokic.
I'm big on SGA. I'm big on Jokic too, but I'd like to see SGA win one. But at the same time, I think about if those players are sitting, who's worse off? And I think if they're sitting, I think if both of them were sitting, I think the Thunder are worse off than what I think the Nuggets are worse off than what the Thunder are. I think the Thunder are young, but they still have a lot of depth, especially, they've got some guards that could step up. I just don't see the Nuggets being a playoff team without Jokic, So.
I mean, I guess I'll make it the fourth one. I'm gonna just make it the short answer. The fourth one to say I think it would be Jokic if I had a vote. But I do think it's an unfair argument to say if you take away each of them, who would be worse off. I just think the question is who's been the best player, and Jokic is the best player in the NBA. There's no question. I mean, I do got a problem. I think we touched on it a little bit earlier, but I do got a problem with the stat keeping in general, all the extra assists and these 3 dribble assists and helping people get 20-20 games and make it look cute for TV. And I got an issue with that. But we're talking about just basketball, who you got to put pressure on, who putting pressure on the team. Jokic is the best player. And I think only reason Shea argument is because 1, it's a good story, and 2, he is leading the league. But 3, I think the main reason it's an argument is because people are tired of giving it to Jokic. And it's like it is what it is. It's his league right now as far as regular season accolade MVP go. He got that on lock.
It's just voters fatigue, man. Like Jokic could be the best player in the NBA, but that don't mean that he got to win the MVP every year. I mean, LeBron was the best player in the league for 10 years.
Stop it.
Oh, yeah.
He was for a decade. I mean, he was. He was. LeBron.
Oh,
yeah. Michael Jordan, though. I mean, if you want to say LeBron, you can say Michael Jordan. You can say Michael Jordan.
You can't say LeBron. You can't say
LeBron was never the best player for 10 years straight.
I mean, I
for a decade? You don't think he was the best player for a decade?
Steph was better than him for a couple
LeBron
years.
didn't dominate his era.
Which decade? What's the time span?
I think he's meaning the 10 years he went to.
What 10 years?
What 10 years? 2010 to 20.
No, not 2010.
I just want to know. No, I want to know
his era.
I want to know what
2010 to 2010.
What 10 years was LeBron the best?
2010 to 2020.
He was the best when Steph won 4 rings,
and Kobe got 2 in their face, man.
Like, what are you talking about?
But that don't mean that he wasn't. That don't mean he wasn't the best. I mean he wasn't the best player. That don't mean he wasn't the best player.
I feel that the MVP discussion question should always be objectively. I don't care about last year, this year, who was the best this season. And
I just thought it was Joker. I mean, I didn't really even know what to say. I mean, Joker is that guy. I don't know. I'll say that, but Joker. I just had Joker.
I don't think Joker's game is as pretty to watch on TV. Like, I mean, you could say the same thing about SGA being a free throw merchant, but like, I think people just like, it's not as aesthetically pleasing. Like, you don't want to go out there and watch Joker not be super athletic, but you still can't argue the dominance. But I'm saying for a casual fan, as a casual fan, you would rather watch SGA.
Okay, well, I think Jokic is probably going to win the MVP, as everyone else here thinks so as well. Yeah, so we'll see. As long as I think they'll be the 2 or 3 seed, then I think if that's the seeding wise and the record wise, then I think it's a lock for Jokic. We will touch back to this is Jimmy Butler. I know some of us wasn't here earlier, but y'all are not going to see too much of that. So Jimmy Butler just got traded to the Golden State Warriors. They've 12-1, 13-1 since he's been on the team. Is it a good? Will this? I'll phrase this differently. I say, will this trade get them to the NBA Finals? I don't think it will. I think the team is being held on by a thread. I think it's only going to take something for Jimmy Butler to piss Draymond off. He's going to say something. They're going to have that moment to where he's going to get in his Kevin Durant moment. They're going to have that. I feel it's going to happen at some point. And Jimmy Butler ain't Kevin Durant when it comes to that. He's not just going to be like, all right. He's just going to be like, all right, I'm out, or I'm going to do something about it. So do you guys think the trade is going to get them to the NBA Finals, or are they going to flame out?
Are the Warriors title contenders now? No. Ain't that what he said?
Man, that's a fine way to phrase it, sure.
Are the Warriors Warriors title contenders after the Jimmy Butler trade? I'm going to say no, because when I look at the Warriors and I think of a 7-game series, I think of who's going to guard Jokic. Can Draymond guard Jokic for 7 games and put them in position to win a game, to win 7 games? No.
Dwight Howard can.
Well, we know that
Shout out Dwight.
We know the Warriors backups or the center, whoever, I can't remember his name. No, the Nuggets got him. Oh, the Warriors center.
Draymond been playing center, right?
They have another guy. They have
Santos, Santos plays.
Neither of them can guard Jokic, like he was saying.
Yeah, you can't guard.
They play a bunch of.
Who will finish? I got good rebuttals for this. Good rebuttals.
I think
Post the 3-point shooter.
He can't guard.
He's a footer. Yeah, I'm gonna let Carlin finish. I got good.
I look at the last like I'm gonna say just the last 5 NBA championship teams, and they all, last year Porzingis got hurt. He started extremely hot for the Celtics, and I think you got to have that post play, and I don't know if the Warriors have that to compete in a 7-game series for a championship. I think the Thunder are better. I think the Kings are better when it comes to that. Huh? But I think the Kings are better. I got the Kings at my 2. Kings at my 2. I think they're better when it comes to that. They're not even in the playoffs. They're 5-6 seed right now, right?
The who?
The Kings.
Since when?
I have to look that up. Maybe not.
I don't know about that. They wouldn't trade their team away if they in the playoff contention.
But either way it goes,
I'm gonna let them finish first.
I don't think they got the bigs to really play and compete for a title. That's my opinion.
Kings are 9 seed.
Okay, so I ain't gonna be too long as earlier, but I think the Warriors are the most dangerous team in the West, outside of the Thunder, obviously being the 1 seed, and then you got the T-Wolves and all them guys. I think the Warriors are dangerous because they force teams to match up with how they play. Jokic ain't finna beat everybody this year by himself. And I think everybody like Jamal Murray's and all these guys around Jokic got to play fairly good for them to compete and to win games. If they're not playing, hitting shots and playing well.
That's every team, though.
It is, but it's more for this team because look at the stats this dude's putting up for them to even win a game. How much did they win that game by when he had 30, 20, and 20?
3 points, probably.
And he had 30, 20, and 20.
He had stats
Every team
for
plays different.
He had stats for 3 games in 1 game, and they won by 3
It
points.
don't matter if it's close or not.
To me, it does. How you win matters, especially in the NBA. If you are barely winning games, who they play when he had 30, 20, 20?
That doesn't mean anything, because when the Warriors played the Cavs in the finals, the Cavs was barely beating the Warriors. In some games, the Warriors was blowing them out, but the Cavs won the series.
I ain't talking about like obviously in the playoffs that's different, but like how you win games in the regular season matters, especially if Kobe scored 80 points against the Raptors, but obviously there was nobody else on the team to score, right? But like, look at Jokic, 30, 20, and 20, and they winning by 3 points.
They're still a 3 seed.
So what I'm saying is, I think
Jamal Murray stepped up in the playoffs, so it's going to be different.
He had one great year when he stepped up in the playoffs.
And it's a fake year. The bubble. It was a bubble.
No, the year they won that chip.
The
year they won that chip, he
2023.
He did take off a little bit.
Boy, he had the best.
He had
the best playoff run.
He had a good run. And that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, I think the Warriors supporting cast will.
Their supporting cast, besides talking about non-starters, or you talking
about around Curry and Butler. I think them guys are gonna play better than Jokic's supporting cast.
I think Young Nuggets got a good supporting cast. They do have a good.
When you look back and looking back to last year's playoffs, they lost to the Wolves, right? The Nuggets did.
Yeah.
Why? When watching that series, it's like they didn't stop Jokic. I don't think you can stop Jokic. But I looked at some spots where they made him uncomfortable, where Kat and Rudy and Nasri did enough to make Jokic uncomfortable, and that's what ultimately I feel like got Anthony Edwards went crazy.
But they also dominated the supporting cast.
They did enough to stop Jokic, or to slow Jokic down, or put him in uncomfortable spots. And I don't know if the Warriors can do that. I don't know if the Warriors got enough for that.
Warriors model for LeBron James. I don't know if y'all paid attention to this in those finals. They let that man do whatever the hell he wanted to do offensively. Meaning, shoot all the shots you want. I ain't going to double you. I'm going to let Iggy play you one-on-one. And everybody else got to work for everything else they about to get. Everything they got to get. LeBron averaged how much in the finals against the Warriors? 2 years, 3 years? How much did he average? 40? Triple-double?
Yeah. 30.
LeBron against the Warriors. They like, he's the MVP. He's the MVP.
When they lost.
Bro, that's what the Warriors want to do. Go ahead. You go do what you want to do. I'm going to stop Porter. I'm going to stop Murray. I'm going to stop Bron from getting all them crazy fast breaks. That's what I think is going to happen.
I like the move. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to say. First, I was hesitant. I didn't know if those two, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, alpha egos was going to work. But I think it actually it's going to work out. I wouldn't say. I mean, I do got money on the Warriors. I do got money, but I wouldn't call them a favorite. Because honestly, I like Oklahoma City. I think Oklahoma City is the favorite in the West. I think they're the team that everybody has to try to beat, especially because they got similar formula that the Wolves had last year. 2 7-footers that can make Jokic work all game. Oklahoma City got that. They got the MVP on the perimeter. They got that. And then they got the supplementary pieces around it with a bunch of shooters. So I like Oklahoma City to be the favorite. I think the Warriors are the most dangerous. At their max, you can't mess with them. And so it would be scary to see that. But, yeah, I'm still I mean, because at their max, you're talking about Purple Shoes, Curry, and Playoff Jimmy. Name a better duo. Name a better duo in the playoffs. Name somebody you're going to say, I'd rather have over Jimmy, Playoff Jimmy, and Purple Shoes Curry.
I don't know.
Who?
I agree.
Nobody. They're the most dangerous team.
Who did he just beat Boston with?
My point.
And now you give him Jimmy, playoff Jimmy.
Now you're getting playoff Jimmy. So it's like, I think they're the most dangerous. I think Oklahoma City favorites.
He played the first game, though.
No, that was last year.
Y'all gonna think I'm crazy for this. I might say some shit that y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I think the Lakers are the most dangerous, to be honest.
Hold on, I gotta hear this.
Yeah. I knew it, man. I think the Lakers are, to be honest.
Why?
Because of Luka and LeBron. No, because I think LeBron and Luka. I don't think nobody. I think me personally, when LeBron and Luka is on the court, they dangerous as hell.
Bro, don't forget to breathe.
No, bro. You could be a LeBron hater.
Right.
You could be. I'm not a LeBron. I'm not a LeBron super fan. Like I'm not a LeBron super fan. I'm just not a LeBron super fan. Now I look at the whole landscape. That's Will. You know, I'm not a LeBron super fan. But I just don't see like them two offensively. I don't see nobody in the West. I don't see nobody in the West stopping them two.
Are they better than Kobe and Shaq?
I mean, I ain't saying all that. I mean, come on now. I ain't saying that they Kobe and Shaq. But I mean, how many Kobe and Shaqs are there in the league now? I just don't see nobody still stopping them on offense.
So I don't. Man,
I just don't see them stopping them on offense. That's all.
I don't know why. Like, yeah, the highlights look good. And the good games look good. But man, can you imagine when Luka not on? Like that one game that
LeBron takes over.
You remember that one game he had in the playoffs when he wasn't on, but Dorian Finney-Smith hit like 9 spot-up 3-pointers? Like LeBron be needing that from Boobie Gibson. Like they need those games from
So you
those
don't
other
think
players.
Austin Reeves could step up and can be that?
I think Austin Rivers is a bad man.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's a great three. I think he's a good third man to them too.
I think he's a phenomenal third man. I don't really think that they really like complement each other the way other people think that they do. Because I mean,
how you figure that?
What if they in a pick and roll together?
Who?
My God,
who you talking about?
Luka and LeBron.
A pick and roll together?
Yeah, on defense.
Oh,
slide them feet, buddy.
But
what are we doing now?
LeBron defense been crazy.
LeBron
defense been crazy since he's been like off the ball.
Defense ain't nothing that you can like.
But you don't.
Either you play defense or you like.
He's
like
been
when
playing
you get a couple.
But he's been
and
playing
you get some
defense.
blocks,
He's been playing defense.
Yeah,
though.
but I'm saying he ain't no lockdown defender. He ain't just became no lockdown defender at 40.
No. I ain't saying that, but I'm saying he's playing. He's playing better defense than what he. But I mean, this is
bringing up the defense. He wasn't a lockdown defender.
Nobody's a lockdown defender in the NBA.
Let me finish. He wasn't a lockdown defender when he was 28, and now he's 40. And like, so what would be the point in possibly bringing up his defense? That man ain't no lockdown. I don't care what highlights you bring to years ago.
Jimmy Butler's not a lockdown defender.
I don't care, huh?
Jimmy Butler's not a lockdown defender.
He's more of a lockdown defender than Bron.
He much more than a lockdown. Even that play Jimmy made the other. When the last time you done seen LeBron switch on three guys in one play? LeBron ain't even gonna want. LeBron don't want to guard his man.
LeBron's been guarding centers though. These last few
LeBron
games.
been guarding centers in the worst era of center play in the league. I'm like let's be real. Let's be real about what LeBron doing, because as a coach, we don't call it guard.
Y'all can't say that and then say Jokic is the best.
I'm just saying,
player in the league.
I'm just saying
he's a center.
I'm just saying as a coach, we don't. But it's not like LeBron guarding Jokic. I'm saying, as a coach, there's guarding and there's hiding.
What did Jokic do to them?
But
what did Jokic do to them the last time they played?
When they had Anthony Davis? I mean, bro.
No. Not when they had Anthony Davis. The last time they played.
Well, LeBron was not playing that game, so.
But no, not that game.
Man,
I guess they did have Anthony
I'm just
Davis.
saying, yeah. I don't believe LeBron is a lockdown defender. But
I don't think Anthony Davis was playing. He didn't.
The question at hand.
He's not a lockdown, but nobody's a lock. I mean, you saying lockdown like lockdown in this era of basketball is not lockdown.
So what is
your best player is still dropping 30, and with efficiency.
Okay, so based off the words, yeah, lockdown might be
What's his name? Jalen Williams? Is it Jalen Williams on the Thunder? What is it? Is it
You think he a lockdown defender?
Yeah. No, I'm saying, ain't he known for his defense too?
He known for his defense.
But is he a lockdown defender?
He's more known as an all-around player than a defender.
Yeah.
But I mean, still though,
I guess my point is just
he still guard your best player though, wouldn't he?
Hunter from the Cavs.
I just don't trust the Lakers defense. I'm sorry. I do, like you was the one who was just talking about the Warriors ain't nothing because you can't see them guarding Jokic, but the Lakers can't guard nobody. Lakers can't guard Steph. Steph on them.
They got to hope the same.
Steph dropped 40.
But we all know how Steph is in the playoffs. Y'all make it seem like Steph turned into Jordan in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, we just told you that Steph was the greatest player from 2010 to 2020.
But not in the playoffs.
Did you not see
in them finals? Did y'all see them finals?
Did you see the last?
Did y'all see them finals though?
Did you see the last?
Did y'all see them finals?
Did you see the last?
Did y'all see them finals?
Did you see the last?
I ain't talking about the last finals. I'm talking about the finals when he went up against LeBron.
You're talking about 7 years ago.
Talking about the finals when he went up against LeBron. What did he do?
Where Kyrie did every meaningful.
No. I ain't. But even the one that they won, even the one where they had KD, it was KD. It wasn't Steph Curry. It was KD. Look, Steph Curry would go missing. They would go missing. They would go missing. KD won them 2 finals.
Did he have to show you though? I don't care about that. That was 10 years ago. He just
showed
you.
My God. Y'all just said Steph was the best player, bro.
He just showed you. Purple Shoes just showed you 3 years ago.
He did this.
I'm like that.
Bro, that was the only time he showed up. The only time in the playoffs. Bro, everybody was questioning.
Hey. We are so far off the topic, and I really just want to say something about Golden State. I really do think that they are a solid team, and Jimmy Butler, in addition to them, I really do think that's a solid team, and I could see them going all the way to the finals. Would I call it today? Probably not. But just one thing to say, man, bro, the USA team, bro. The USA team.
What about it?
Bro, like I probably ain't never seen a player have more pressure on shots.
Was hopeless.
More pressure on shots in my life. Like in terms of how big of a bet.
But so was LeBron.
No. One. So I'm
he balled.
So for one.
But he did go 0 for like 9 in like 2 games though too. So he was an 0 for 1.
I'm talking about this. You was talking about big time moments. I've never seen a player be under a bigger moment.
What do you mean you never have?
Being
Kobe Bryant was your best was the favorite player. You've seen it.
No. I have not. Because I've seen Kobe Bryant hit shots in 7-game series.
You said
that was for a gold medal, win or go home. And it ain't win or go home. If you lose this game, you're not a top 3-point guard. LeBron not a top 5 player. Y'all get disgraced for the next 2 decades. Meanwhile, you hit 4 threes in the final 2 minutes, and the last one, LeBron and KD wide open on the wing.
I get that, I've seen that. I've seen that.
Stop,
bro. I've seen that. But y'all making this.
You talking about big shots? You gonna really watch that? We gonna watch that.
But
the whole world was watching that. You
really but he didn't. That was one of the games. Yeah, but
one game he did it 4 times. No. He did it 4 times.
No,
he was showing my story. He said, "Bow." You don't think I can do that?
Okay, but in the game before that,
watch this.
In the game before that, what did he do? In the game before that, what did he do?
Bro, he did.
He was an offer. It was an offer.
You act like ain't nobody ever missed.
Bro, in the USA, but I'm saying he was an offer.
Redemption.
He was an offer.
That is the whole thing about basketball. That's why we love the game so much. It's about the redemption qualities of the game. The missing the shot, the defending somebody, the hitting the buzzer,
moving the goalpost.
The next shot, bro. Like I don't know nobody who ain't missed shots before.
I get that. Yeah,
like how we gonna talk about a semifinal shot when you
But you talking about,
but you talking
about in moments. Every game in the USA Olympics is a moment. You only got one game or you go home. Every game is a moment.
But that's what I'm saying.
And you go over in one game in 2 games.
Who has not?
Okay, yeah, but he did it in this game.
Who has not though? Who has not?
So if
that's what I'm saying.
He went 2 games in 2 games. He went over in 2 games. It got so bad. They was like, oh, maybe Kerr should start Jason Tatum. I mean, maybe he should play Jason Tatum.
He said no.
Man, that's how bad it was.
Hey, I'm gonna leave it at this.
Horrible.
I really don't know what nobody else wants from 30. I really don't. I really don't.
Honestly, I really don't.
Steph Curry had 24 points in the final game, 36 points in the semifinals.
In the semi.
36 points in the semifinals against Serbia against Jokic.
Against Jokic.
And then, but to his credit, he only had 7, 8, 3, and 11 points the other 4 games.
Exactly.
But they are on an all-star team, so it's like he's not going to do that.
All-star games.
Exactly.
When the chips ain't matter. When we play Jokic, when we play France, that's when I'm going on.
Like, where's the final
when we play Serbia,
the silver motor. But we almost got beat by the Africans, bro.
Like,
we did.
That was one of them games that he went over. That he was dog water. Okay, we almost got beat by Africa, bro.
Obviously, though, it was a game where all of us was dog water because, like you said, bro, none of them was on NBA rosters.
None of them was.
So I'm saying they all
in a game they win by 15.
I mean, here's the score here, like 98, 87 final.
So we went by 20.
Yeah, like if they win by
95, 91.
Yeah, we
Those are the
won.
games he had at scoring, but then
The
like,
games that he
didn't score
did
that
that,
much.
The game that he
22,
The
87.
game he didn't score much, they win by 30. So if I'm scoring 7 points and I'm not needed for
They
real,
won by
but then
20.
in the game that we win and we barely win, and I scored 36 of them points, and I scored the last 12, them ain't good points, bro. Them ain't good points because I just scored 7 in the game I wasn't really needed in. Okay, I went over. Okay, I'm pissed.
That's
Okay,
what happened.
bad night. But the game I most needed in where KD ain't got it going, LeBron ain't got it going, Jason Tatum ain't got it going. I'm out. I'm not passing it to these niggas because they don't have it going. I'm gonna make this shit. I'll finish the game. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna put the
world on my back.
country
Like
on
I
my
said,
back.
I don't know
And
what
I'ma
else
finish the
30
game,
got
bro.
to like, cause that's my thing. Like I'm so serious.
Curry
Like,
did that.
I'm
Curry did that with KD
standing
on his
on
team. Nobody want to give him a credit. That second ring, Curry was hitting the biggest shots. And I don't know.
but it don't even
in game
matter.
4, 5, and 6.
What do you
Curry
mean,
hit the
Curry?
biggest shots. Go look at the film,
But
bro.
it don't even
Go look
matter.
at the
He
film.
came back against the defensive player of the year and maybe the best defensive rated team in the past decade. And he did it. And he
Talking about
was
the
there.
Celtics.
Come on
Yeah.
now. That's what I mean. I don't know what else
What
you
you
could
see
need from 30.
That's the only
That would be
one
like if
that's
KD
the
won
one
in
I
Brooklyn.
could give him. That's the one
That
I
would be
could
like
give
if
him.
LeBron had came back by
He
himself
had
and won in
Marcus Smart.
Cleveland. Like I really don't
He
know
had
what else
Marcus
you
Smart
need.
like this, bro. He said Marcus Smart, go to sleep, bro. Like you can't.
Yeah, I think
Me
that
more than
y'all
any
give
ring
him
that
like
Bron has ever won.
so much. Not so much, but I feel like he's no, not for changing the game. Because Steph Curry is one of the great players that
He's the best
literally
player of
that
this
really,
generation.
That really go.
He's the best player of this generation.
No, he's not.
He's the best player of this
He's
generation. He dominated.
You
the
undercut your
2010s.
argument because you are a LeBron hater. So you undercut your argument. You undercut your argument by saying that.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Not a LeBron.
He is a LeBron hater.
Name me one. Name me one.
He's not a LeBron hater.
One player.
So what is he?
talk with the mic.
Name me.
What is he?
Carlin is not a LeBron hater, bro.
Hey, name me one player who is not the face of a generation, the best player of the generation, whatever you want to say, who got double-digit All-Star appearances. I don't even want to say the MVPs, but multiple MVPs, 4 rings. Name me one player. Like, just find me one. And stayed on the same
The only
team.
unanimous-
And stayed on the same
The
team.
only unanimous MVP in history, by the way.
Bro, like,
Jordan don't even have that.
I'm not understanding because,
Okay,
like,
bro.
You good.
Kobe got 5 rings, same team. Duncan got 5 rings, same team. Jordan got 6 rings, same team. Magic got 5 rings, same team. But these all these dudes, you don't question. The only one you question is Kobe and Duncan. It's because they was in the same time. But for their position, you don't question. Like, bro, KG did his thing. Duncan played in the era of power forwards, but they go, I mean, bro, look at what he did. Bro, Steph did it on the same team for this long and got that much hardware. Who else done did that and get that much disrespect? So you say
he don't get no disrespect.
But you say no, that's my point.
No,
you say this dude is halted so high, and it's like not worthy or something. But it's like, bro, who got that resume? Who not looked at like, my goodness, bro? He just started getting put over Isaiah Thomas with this last ring. He just started people saying, all right, he top 3. Who got that resume and got to fight for top 3? Kobe, Bron, Duncan, Jordan? You in the GOAT conversation. They trying to say he a top 3 point guard. Nah, he's underrated. He's still underrated.
They giving him his flowers now for sure.
He's still underrated.
They are underrated. He's getting them flowers now.
Like LeBron got, I don't know what third he got to do left, because if he get this ring, man, I'm
Hey, if he get this ring,
he close.
I'm not.
Man, dog.
All right.
If he get this ring, I'm gonna have to look my Kobe jersey in the eye. I'm gonna have to look my Kobe jersey in the eye. He get this ring.
Yes, that's our last. We'll get to our last topic of the night. We all from KC here. We all know what's going on in the town. We all witnessed the Super Bowl travesty that happened with the Chiefs. And the offseason has started, and I'm going to go through the Chiefs' offseason moves real quick. And basically, we're going to see, what the Chiefs have left to do to kind of get them, they were in the Super Bowl, so it's not like they're miles apart from what they need. But at the same time, you get blown out in that fashion. The Super Bowl changes must be made. So this is what's happened with the Chiefs offseason so far. They re-signed the linebacker Blake Lynch. I don't think he was a starter. He's a backup linebacker. They tendered punter Matt Uriaza. They re-signed Marquise Brown to a 1-year contract.
That was good.
Like I said, they signed Blake Lynch. They signed Robert Tonyan. I think he was on the Vikings last year. And linebacker Cole Christensen. They traded Joe Turney to the Chicago Bears in exchange for a 4th-round pick. Signed left tackle Jalen Moore to a 2-year contract. Signed running back Elijah Mitchell to a contract. Signed Christian Fulton to a 2-year contract. They placed a tender on linebacker Jack Cochrane and cornerback Nazeeh Johnson, and re-signed Malik Herring, defensive end. They signed quarterback Gardner Minshew to a 1-year contract. They signed D tackle Jerry Tillery to a 1-year contract. They signed Kareem Hunt to a 1-year contract. And they signed Bailey Zappi, another quarterback, to a 1-year contract. They're probably going to finish out the signings. Those have all happened in the last week. And they'll probably continue doing this for the next week, and then the draft's going to come. They're going to go. Usually they get all the free agent signings, most of them done by the end of March, so they can use them as trade assets for the draft. I think the only thing the main thing they ought to address, they getting the offensive line done, so I would say that in the draft. They could always get another lineman. They have the 31st pick. If you're going to use the 31st pick, you got to kind of address what was the issues in the Super Bowl. Obviously, I don't blame Patrick Mahomes for that, even though he did have a bad game. I think either tight end, to be honest, because you got to get the Kelsey kind of replacement in. They have some substitutes in there. Watson is kind of a tight end flex, and they just picked up a Tonyan, so that's a young dude. But I'd say the defensive side, you kind of got to go that route. Chris Jones, he's about to be gone soon, so I think you got to get a D lineman or a defensive back. So what y'all think?
Did you get Bolton signing on there?
Bolton, yeah, he re-signed. They did not put this on there though. But Bolton just re-signed too. They didn't put that on here.
That was the big one.
Yeah, Bolton re-signed, restructured his contract signed a 2-year. 2-year. I think it's a 2-year contract. They didn't put that on here though.
That was a 4-year. It's 3-year.
3-year. Yeah, they didn't put that on here. Wait, that happened yesterday, right?
A couple days ago.
Probably it was official yesterday.
Okay, yeah, they just have up to the 14th. So I think it's the 6/15, so they probably did it. So
if I'm a Kansas City Chiefs, I'm looking at it and it's like I've been hearing a lot of talk. Kyle Pitts. I've been hearing before DK got drafted. We need to go after DK. I wouldn't touch the skill positions. I think that we've already proved that we can win without going out and getting spending a bunch of money in free agency or using draft compensation to pick up, some potential guys in free agency. I wouldn't touch any skill positions. I'm attacking the line. I doubt Will Campbell falls to 31st. But you know what I'm saying? But you need a tackle. And then like you were saying, defensive lineman. I would have liked to see Tershawn Wharton. That's like the guy that I would have liked to see get re-signed.
He got some ridiculous contract, but it's like, bro, Tayshaun Wharton. He got crazy.
Yeah, wasn't it by the Saints?
Yeah, but
They pay. I don't even know where they getting money from. Like they
had no big players assigned to big contracts.
Yeah, they
gave Derek Carr a bunch of money, didn't they?
But they ain't got a quarterback. He ain't there.
They restructured. I'm pretty sure they restructured.
But they didn't cap him.
Main thing for the Chiefs is we need some playmakers on defense. I don't think we got enough people that get turnovers. No DBs that. I mean, we get some forced fumbles, but I'm talking about take the ball away in the passing game. So that's where I would like to see is a playmaker in the secondary. If we can get one in the late pick, obviously need some perimeter help on the offensive line.
That's Bolton's like weakness is covering the middle of the field. We get dog walked in the middle of the field every single time. Like that's our weakness, and he's our middle linebacker, and we just committed to him. I just feel like if we get another athletic linebacker to go alongside
I think
him.
Bolton had a rough kind of end to the year, but I still believe in him as a all-around, 3-down, every down linebacker. But to be honest, the ceiling is higher for Leo Chanel, and I honestly think he's gonna take off this year. He's a bad dude. I would like to follow in the footsteps of past draft class and maybe swing for a playmaking DB in that back. You typically can't get those higher prospects, those Jalen Ramsey, Travis Hunter type players, but the Chiefs have been kind of lucky with Marcus Peters and Trent McDuffie hitting on those first round talent type cornerbacks later in the draft, and
I think we get some gems, man.
And then Quinion Mitchell, I think he's a super stud. So a guy like him from what was he? It was Toledo. So yeah, one of those smaller schools who got the tape, but also got the numbers to back up the tape. I would love a guy like that who I could see us getting. Like I said, you ain't gonna get that 5-star.
No,
but
he said
I would love a guy like that.
The corner.
So like just a smaller school. 2-time like MAC conference cornerback. Player like that. Somebody like that who you could really see us getting. But
that's what Sauce Gardner was.
Yeah, I would definitely. Exactly. But yeah, we definitely didn't take the ball away enough. And then O-line. Obviously, losing Thuney, that was huge, but it's a reason why we was kind of okay with losing Thuney is because we had him playing tackle, so it would be nice to get a real tackle.
And he was older, too. Yeah.
I mean, it would just be nice to get a real tackle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So there's a lot of mock drafts. I just checked like 3 of them, and it said that has the Chiefs taking Walter Nolan, interior defensive lineman from Ole Miss.
I keep seeing that interior.
Yeah, they said he's the number 2 explosive, powerful, extremely reactionary to offensive movement. Said it would go good with Jones, Karlaftis, and all the rest of the front. So I've seen that 3 times, and I just looked at 4 different things. Same guy.
It's a player out there, any position at any time in the first round. If you didn't get him, you didn't get him. Like your scouting wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Just didn't see too many prospects for too long to understand that. Man, the whole idea of a bust, like this is fictitious. Like it's just not real. It's not real. You got bad coaching and you got bad situations, but overall it'd be bad drafting. You can find first 32 picks. You can find a tackle that can play in the NFL. Whether that all SEC tackle that everybody told you was the one or not, or whether it was a guy from North Dakota State who probably been starting for 3-4 years, whoever it may be, it's a tackle out there.
Yeah.
You might not get him, but it's gonna be one in the third round that everybody raving about 5 months or 5 months from now.
Yeah, it's about a month and a half away from the draft, so I might end up being there. We'll see. We'll see. I was there the last 2 years, and it was.
Ain't it in Green Bay?
It's in Green Bay,
Unfortunately.
unfortunately.
Yeah. Man, tell me about it.
I don't know why it's up there.
It's in the neighborhood.
Right.
That's crazy. But y'all, I think that's a wrap for the show. You know, it was good. Everybody, you know, it went great. You know, I'm excited to watch and listen back and let y'all see this as well. So if you made it this far in the video, appreciate y'all. Is there anything left that anyone wants to say before we get up out of here?
Oh, say, can you see?
Man,
That's all I got.
appreciate you for having me and us. Can't speak for everybody, obviously, but appreciate you for having me. I hope we can do this again, like a lot more, because I like these settings. I like when we can come together and just talk about this type of stuff. But this is I love this shit, man. Like for real. Like this is so far gone. We should have been doing this shit. So that's all I got. Appreciate you for having me, brother.
Oh yeah, shout out to DeAndre for having us. YouTube channel. Y'all, this ain't gonna be the last time y'all see us. We will be back. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. Been fun.
Gonna be smooth setup too.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do a little better. Sorry.
Yeah, appreciate you for having me. You know what? Go look me up on MySpace, YouTube, Facebook. Yeah, and
SouljaBoyTellHim.com.
OnlyFans. You might catch me on there a little bit. Christian Mingles. You know, you might catch me. You know what I'm saying? You might catch me there.
Find him on Facebook though. That's where you want to find him.
Or OnlyFans. And I'm coming up with my own thing too. And you know what I'm saying? I'm in the mix of working on that. You know what I'm saying? My own little site. Yeah, I'm working on it. I ain't got started with it yet. But you know what? I'm working. It's in my head. And then you know what? It's the thought that counts. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? But thank you for having me. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we do this. You know what? I am gonna do this again. You think I look good? Look good on camera? What y'all think? You know I look good on camera? I don't know. In a real way. Coming to you live.
Oh, this isn't live, but yeah.
Well, coming to you recorded. It then live.
Oh man.
So I just want to say thank you. Appreciate y'all having me and having everyone out here. It's fun to do. I want to see, what everybody liked about the show and, who you thought had the best takes. So go to the comments and say, I thought Kaliko had the best takes on the show tonight. That would be awesome. And make sure you like and subscribe to my dog, man.
It was fun. Thanks for having me. Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Let's go eat.
Last one real quick before we go. We didn't talk about it, but go Broncos. We had the best offseason in here. Fuck the Chiefs.
I think that's a joke, but it's all right. All right, y'all. We got you.
Beat his ass when his camera turned off.